This is the Sports Porch, Philadelphia, with your hosts, the Grand Schwalbini, Rube, and me, your technical director. Come on, Philly, show us a little Eagles, Flyers, Phillies, and Sixers love. The Philadelphia Sports Porch starts now.
Rube,
What's
did
up?
you see the intro?
I did see the intro.
You did see it? Well, that's good news because I did not see it.
You did not see it?
I didn't
We
see
gotta
it.
change it. We
Yeah.
gotta change it.
I know.
The crew has changed, and while we love the TD, I think we need to update it.
100%. Well, hey, everybody, we are back. We are back and better than ever. We had taken a little bit of a hiatus. There was some illness. There were some vacation, some work trips in there. There was a lot going on. But we are back, and we are here for you to talk about our favorite Philadelphia sports teams. Thanks for joining us. We are on X right now at Philly Porch. We are also on YouTube at Philadelphia Sports Porch, and you can also catch us on our channel on Facebook, the Philadelphia Sports Porch. So before we get into things today, I know that we are all feeling a little bit down because this is the headline. Eagles drop the ball in Big D. And there's a number of ways we can go at this. Probably we're all a little bit tired of it at this point, but nonetheless. Rube, what do you think? You had posed the question to me, who are the real Eagles? You know, is this a team that can contend for a Super Bowl? Or is this a team that is sort of getting lucky to keep winning these close games, and ultimately our flaws are going to do us in, and maybe this is closer to 2023 than 2024? So where do you start off with this?
Well, I certainly don't see an offense that can win a Super Bowl. Regardless of how many times our defense saves our bacon, our offense is mentioned with teams like the New Orleans Saints or the New York Jets, and we're at the bottom of the barrel. When's the last time you saw a team ranked less than ranked 28th, 29th, 30th in offense win a Super Bowl? I think the answer is probably never, unless it may have been the Bears of '85. But our defense is in the Bears of '85. So very, very concerned about the offense, as I'm sure everybody is. And what I don't know, and I think what we should debate is what do you do about it, right? We're, 11, 12 games into the season? You can't necessarily go out and hire a new coordinator off the street. At least I don't think you can. So what do you do about the offense? So I'm not optimistic about making a deep playoff run this year, and quite frankly, like you said, we've been winning some close games, but we got exposed. We got exposed badly last week, and even during the game we're up 21-0. I'm like, I haven't seen us play a full game yet. It couldn't have gone any worse for Dallas in the first half. I think this is going to be closer than we want it to be, and here we are.
It was too early. Too early to be up 21-0. You know what I mean?
It was too early. That's right. As good as it felt, it's as bad as, as lifelong suffering Eagles fans, we knew it was too early.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to give you. I've really only got like one or two positive takes. Okay. One positive take I'm going to give you. Whereas I don't think this is going to end up like 2023. Is because in 2023, our defense was absolutely putrid. You know, we couldn't tackle anybody, right? We had Bradbury chasing ghosts out there, you know? So the one thing that I do like about our team this year is the defense is really good. And yeah, they have weaknesses, the second cornerback spot, and maybe with some injuries, maybe now safety. Pass rush still, it depends on the game. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's non-existent. But overall, I mean, they do play some pretty good ball on the defensive side. So I don't think we're going to collapse like we did in 2023. But I also do agree with you that they can't keep playing the way they're playing offensively and make a deep playoff run. It just can't. Saquon Barkley's got to be able to run the ball. And, to me, look, I know everybody says, he had so many carries last year and had such an amazing year. I don't see him getting much, opportunity, really. I mean, every time he touches the ball, there's a guy right on top of him. Whereas like last year, I think they were like setting records for like most yards without contact. They're just not blowing people off the ball. I mean, you've got. I think not bringing back Mekhi Becton was a big mistake, because he's a people mover. I think that, and look, Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson, they're very good players, but nobody's a really good player when you're battling through injuries the whole year.
Right.
And a lot of the time I look at it and I just say like, geez, like maybe have, a Cam Jurgens sit out 4 weeks and bring him back for like a stretch run. Don't just bring him back because he can make it through today. Because if he's approaching it from that standpoint, then maybe he's, not going to be able to play the next game. Right. And I really think it all comes back to the offensive line. That's where it all starts. When you can, I mean, look, you can say both ways, run to pass or pass to run. I think we're actually forced to pass to run now. But the reality is, if the offensive line is dominant like we've been for the past couple of years, then we can do whatever we want. And we're just, with the fact that the offensive line just keeps getting pushed back into our running backs and to our quarterback, the bottom line, as I see it, is, it's very hard to be creative when somebody's on you in 2 seconds.
Totally agree. I totally agree that the offensive line is nowhere close to what it has been. I think, to answer your question of why don't you just sit one of these guys like a Jurgens or a Dickerson or name your injured offensive lineman outside of Jordan Mailata. The problem is that they're all hurt. Now, Lane Johnson has to sit for 4 to 5 weeks. So maybe that's a blessing if we can just play this one out. But how do you have Johnson sit 4 to 6 weeks and Jurgens sit another 4 weeks and survive? The depth isn't there along the O-line, and that's a remnant of winning the Super Bowl. So it's a good problem to have. Now listen, I'm gonna throw this out there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think anyone educated would say the offensive line is the root of the problem here. However, one thing that I thought about is, why don't you sit a guy like Barkley for a week, and why don't you let Bigsby get some touches? He seems to be explosive. Yeah. Barkley had 400 and something, 480 something touches last year. He's already got close to 200 this year. So yes, the offensive line's not going to open up holes, but you know what? When you had a Kenny Gainwell and you have now this Tank Bigsby guy who looks like he could be a change of speed guy, let's give him the chances and let's give a little. Let's see what he can give us and give Barkley some rest, and let's see if he can't get his mojo back. Because no matter how you look at it, I don't care if you've got the worst offensive line in football. 10 carries for 20-something yards. You can't go from being a 2,000-pound rusher to that. Even Barry Sanders could figure out ways around that. So
and also too, on that point, I mean, last year you probably had, like, on average, I'm just guessing here, but you probably had about 20 carries for Saquon. And you still had about like 6 or 7 carries go to Gainwell. I don't understand why Bixby's not getting 6 or 7 carries, even to just start it out that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Our identity is running the ball. We haven't been able to run it, and now we're trying to fall back on a passing game that clearly is unimaginable, doesn't have much imagination.
Right.
And we got to change something, right? So we've talked about change out the players, rest the players.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about, it's the offensive line. Everyone and their brother saying fire Patullo. But what do? You know, Sirianni has proven he's not a good offensive play caller. Changing a coordinator like we did with Desai back on the defense in 2023 was a disaster.
Made it worse.
So I don't know what the right answer is. If I was king for a day, I think I would probably figure out maybe I think you got to change the play caller, but it's going to have to be someone inside the organization, not named Sirianni or Patullo.
Although you know what though,
maybe that sparks the team a little bit.
You know what? At the same time, I mean, you know, do we really know that Sirianni's not a good play caller? I mean, I believe what he did was, I believe he started out his very first year as the play caller, and I think maybe they went like 2-5 or something like that, and then he made the switch to Shane Steichen. But you know, the guy's only called like 5 to 7 games or something, and he's got a hell of a lot more experience now. You know, maybe he could call the plays. I don't know, but
maybe take a crack at it for a week.
But here's the thing though. At the same time, you know, look, I mean, I can't say that I'm thrilled with Kevin Patullo, but you know, did Kevin Patullo fumble a punt? Did Kevin Patullo fumble a screen pass? You know, did Kevin Patullo not complete a pass down to the 12-yard line to Devontae Smith, which was called back on a hands to the face on Fred Johnson?
No, fair enough. Everything.
You know?
So listen, I think you're looking at one game, but look at the whole season. Look at 11 games and look where we're ranked in offense. You can't tell me as the defending Super Bowl champions that we, with essentially the same cast of characters, right? Maybe injured, you can't figure out how to do better than bottom of the league in offense. And so over time, yes, Patullo didn't do those things on Sunday, but I don't know. The offense looks like when we played in Tannery Run. It looks like he's out there scrambling around. That little shovel pass he got in trouble to when Barkley fumbled the ball. It just looks like street ball to me. It doesn't look like a well-oiled rhythmic offensive machine. Maybe one half, but we haven't played a whole game this year where the offense just looked like it was in rhythm.
Now, where do you stand on sort of these two issues as being part of the problem? You got on one hand, you've got your AJ Brown is unhappy if he doesn't contribute. And then AJ Brown is also happy if he contributes, but we lose. As he was laughing through an interview post game last week. And then you've got these new reports coming out this week by Derek Gunn, who's supposedly, a very well-established, well-respected insider, saying that there are people in the Eagles organization that are frustrated with Jalen Hurts because they're not running what they're running in practice. He's sort of going off script and doing what he wants to do in the game. So you want to take both of them on at the same time, or start with one?
It's such a play. To be honest, I'm almost kind of bored with the conversation because it's such garbage.
I agree.
And to me, that starts with control inside the building and this great culture that Sirianni talks about all the time. And yet this nonsense is allowed to continue and stuff is leaking from the building. And I guess it's purposely being leaked. Who knows? But to me, that's not the sign of a good culture. That's not the sign of everything that we've tried to build there. And I'm tired of the nonsense. Get your $100 million, get your butt out on the field and do everything you can to win the game, and keep your mouth shut and complain inside the room.
Yeah. And
the rest of the stuff is just a freaking distraction, and I hate it.
You know what? I would agree with you. I think, and here's the thing, like, you know what? Everybody always goes on, like Derek Gunn and Colin Cowherd and, Adam Schefter. And, of course, they can't reveal their source. So they all say, I have a very, very inside source who is around all the, like making it seem like, this person that they're talking to is basically has like, a microphone in every locker stall and knows every single thing that's going on. I mean, I'll tell you who I think the source is. I think the source is AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think AJ Brown talks to anybody, and that's what it is. And to be honest, I really think they're really doing a disservice to Jalen. I mean, like, what else does he have to do?
I agree 1,000%. I think that's such a bunch of horse pucky. Now, listen, we get frustrated with Jalen, but you can't argue with the results. You really can't. Who else would you rather have back there right now? Right. Who's had a better record over the past, 5 years, 4 to 5 years? Who's been to 2 Super Bowls? Who's won a Super Bowl MVP? Who doesn't turn the ball over? He's done everything. Who has a new offensive coordinator every freaking year since his early college days and still finds ways to win? Not AJ Brown.
Right. And like this BS about he's doing his own thing in the game. Hey, look, when you're running a route in practice, when either nobody's covering you or there's no chance that they're going to hit you, he's going to throw it there every single time because it's practice. It's different if he looks and sees a guy right on top of you. Yeah. So you can't sit there and say he's going out on his own.
That slant that they tried to call, the one where he got sacked. Yeah. They called the same damn play the play before, whenever it was. Dallas, give them credit. They're smart enough to see, hey, we're not going to let AJ Brown beat us on the one route that he likes to run, which is the inside slant. Right. So to me, that's offensive play calling and imagination.
I agree.
And it's totally unacceptable for a Super Bowl champion to be that predictable.
Yeah. And here's a couple interesting stats that I just put together for Jalen. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at all the big name quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've actually this I'm talking about just this year's play. I've only got one quarterback that's better than him. And
based on what metric?
Based simply on touchdowns and interceptions.
Okay. All right.
So the best by far, I think everybody would agree, is Matthew Stafford.
Oh yeah.
He's got 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Okay.
And he slings it too.
Right. So listen to this. So Jalen's got 17 touchdowns, 1 interception. Plus, you could also throw in the 8 rushing touchdowns. Basically gives him 25 touchdowns and 1 interception. Okay? Mm-hmm. Here's everybody else who you throw in that mix. Pat Mahomes, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Josh Allen, 18 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Justin Herbert, I don't know why, but people seem to love this guy. 19 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Bo Nix, up and comer, 18 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 19 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Drake May, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Okay, he's in.
By the way, I told you Drake May was going to be good. You laughed at me last year.
I probably did. And just a couple more, like Dak, he's in the mix. 23 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then I threw in, just for the sake of it, what's the darn name there? Darnold. I put him in because Smith and Jigba's got a lot. He's got 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
How
Like the
good's he-
bottom,
how good has Smith and Jigba been, man? Holy cow!
I'm actually really surprised by that. I didn't think he was going to be that good either.
Hey,
Shows
I
you what
know
I know.
you may not
Yeah.
have it in front of you, but
Yeah.
we got a game coming up in a couple days, and we're
We
going to be
do.
playing Caleb Williams, and the Bears, I think, are what, 8-3?
The Bears are 8-3.
What's his touchdown to interception ratio? Do we have it somewhere?
His isn't it isn't that bad, but it's also not that great. I think it's something like he's only got maybe 5 interceptions, but he's got maybe 14 touchdowns, something like that.
16 TDs, 4 interceptions.
But one thing
2,500 yards.
Yeah.
Well,
here's one thing I will tell you, because living here in Pittsburgh,
you did
I
it.
said it. God damn it. I did it. I did it. But I watched the entire Steelers Bears game last week.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, no, look, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm excited about Caleb Williams. I think he's got tremendous potential. But I'll tell you what, he is really inconsistent, really inaccurate. I mean, the Steelers probably dropped 4 interceptions. I mean, this guy, he misses by a lot. There's going to be some balls that just completely fly over people's heads. There's going to be balls that are thrown behind receivers. I mean, look, the way I look at it, and I look at the Steelers as a different team, at least hopefully, than the Eagles. I kind of see the Steelers as like a 500-ish type team. A good team should beat Caleb Williams at home.
Mm-hmm.
They should. Now, I know the secondary is a little banged up. I did hear Reed Blankenship is going to play.
He is going to play.
He is going to play. Sidney Brown's going to go in at the other safety position.
Mm-hmm.
If Adoree Jackson plays, then they'll play Coop in the slot. If Adoree doesn't play, they're going to move Coop outside to corner and use that Michael Carter II in the slot, which, Coop didn't look great on the outside, but also remember it was Pickens and CeeDee Lamb who we had to cover the whole game.
Yeah.
There's no Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on the Bears.
I like Coop. They got some good receivers, right? They got Dunze, and they got a couple other decent receivers. But you're right. We a Super Bowl defending team with the same offense and a defense that's playing well, but on short rest, it's we should beat the Bears. But it's going to all depend on what our offense does.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this, but I'm assuming it's going to be the same this week. But last week the Bears had their 3 starting linebackers out.
Real, and they still beat the Steelers.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, it's come on, if you got to get the defense right, you could, the offense right. You couldn't pick a better week. All right. Well, let me close it down on this for the Eagles. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of positivity.
Please, yes.
Here's to this Dallas game being last year's Commanders game. Do you remember last year when Hurts goes down? Yeah. All Devontae has to do is catch that pass, and they win the game, and they blow it, and they blow a big lead, and all that kind of stuff. Let me actually just tell you for a second. Do you have any idea how many things went wrong in this game?
For the Eagles, you mean against Dallas?
Yeah.
I do have an idea.
I mean, this is what it took to lose on a last-second field goal. Nakobe Dean had an interception called back on a penalty. Zach Bond dropped an interception in his hands. We have the Gibson fumble. First of all, why are you catching it at the 1-yard line?
And that guy needs to be cut immediately.
Yeah, and why is he even still on the team? I'm surprised he's still on the team. The Jets cut him because he couldn't stop fumbling. And we've now recreated him. Give me Britton Covey, okay?
Yeah.
He's on the practice squad, by the way.
When do you put Coop back there?
Yeah, right. And then you have Saquon has his first fumble of the year. Okay. You have the Ferguson fumble that just went right out of bounds with 3 Eagles around it. You had the Smith completion to the 12-yard line, which was called back for a hands to the face, maybe call it a chin. You had the Devontae Smith pass interference call, okay, which was insane. And then you had the most important player on the Philadelphia Eagles, Elliott, miss a field goal.
It was a long one. And oh, by the way, the best kicker in the world, he missed one too. Aubrey missed one.
True. I mean, I would say that, in all honesty, though, I heard a lot of people complaining about, why not have some stones and go for it there, or why not just punt it and play the field position game? Look, I gotta trust my guy Elliott to hit that field goal. I don't really have any problem with that call.
I don't either. And we needed points. We needed to kind of stem the tide.
Okay, so Rube, final question before we head out. Which picture do you feel represents what is going to play out the rest of this year? This one? Well, actually, I should probably get our faces off the screen, but nope. Oh, I'm not very good at this.
That's okay.
It's a picture that says they're done, and it's got Sirianni, Hurts, and Lane Johnson on it.
Yeah.
Or this, the confetti. What are we closer to?
I honestly think we're closer to they're done than we are confetti. And it's all about the offense. I think we've seen what this offense can do, and unless there's a dramatic change, we're not going to see confetti this year. It's unfortunate.
I don't disagree with you. Let's move on to the upstart Flyers.
Let's talk about the Flyers.
The Flyers, Rube, are 11-7-3. How about this? Remember when the Flyers could never win a shootout? The Flyers are 4-0 in shootouts. Isn't that insane?
I know.
and did you know? I'm not sure you know this. Did you know that Trevor Zegras is the greatest shootout player of all time? Are you aware of that?
I did not know that.
He of all time, since the whole thing started, like players with like over whatever, I don't know, maybe it was 25 attempts or something. He's 65% on the shootout. He's the best number one. Okay. Essentially, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a little trip down. Should we be optimistic or should we be pessimistic? Rube, you're gonna take the optimistic, and this is Trevor Zegras. I put these in the wrong place, that's why. And me, that's a picture. You can't see it here, but it's a puck going past Sam Urson. I'm going to take the the negative side of the coin. So, Rube, tell me, why are you optimistic about this Flyers squad?
So hey, first and foremost, we have a comment from Gabriel in the comments. Take a quick look, and maybe something we want to talk about offline. But check out the comment real quick while I find the notes.
It's okay. We'll skip that for now. But Gabriel, thanks for paying attention. Basically, Gabriel wants to try to help us produce a better show.
I think he just wants to do a pregame discussion. Okay. Let me find my notes. Hold on one second here. It's never where you need them.
One thing, while you're looking for that, one thing I can tell you is the Flyers right now have 25 points. They have 25 points. All the teams that are out of the playoffs, so like your number 8 through whatever it is, 16, are somewhere between 26 and 21 points. So, you win one game, you find yourself in the playoffs. You lose a game, you find yourself out of the playoffs. That's kind of where they are right now.
Yeah. So I did a little research, and being the Posidelphia, positive, optimistic guy that I am, I'm going to give you some. I'm gonna give you some reasons why we should be excited this year. Number one, let's just look at some stats. If you look at last year versus this year and you project out for the rest of this year, last year, 76 total points. Based on where we are today, we have ourselves landing around 100 to 103 points.
Really? That
if
good?
If you look at our goals for last year, 232, probably going to end somewhere around the same. Here's the big difference. Goals against. We gave up 283 goals last year. Again, not a great defense, not great goaltending. Based on projections for the rest of this year, on the first 21 games in this year, we will give up 230. That's 53 less goals this year.
That's good.
And so when you look at the goal differential, last year we were minus 51. And remember, the TD always like to talk about goal differential, run differential. This year will be just a break even. So if you believe the projections, which based on so far this year, is just simple math, we project to end in, last year we were 8th, last place. This year, let's assume everything kind of stays the same. We'll be in we'll be in 4th in the division. So I think, based on just the stats and the numbers alone, things have to go right for us and continue to go well. It's a projected top 4 finish. So that's point number one for being optimistic. Do you want to do point counterpoint or anything like that, or do you want me to just keep going?
No, we can do point counterpoint because because I've got a funny counterpoint to that.
Okay.
My reason to be pessimistic is, while it's held up thus far, I'm not really thrilled with our goaltending. I mean, look, Dan Vladar has been excellent. He's 8-4-1 with a 2.42 goals against and a 912 save percentage. That's very, very good. I do believe within his last couple games, he did get shellacked one game. Sam Urson to me is kind of a disappointment. I kind of thought that maybe he had the ability to maybe eventually round into sort of like maybe like maybe a top 15 type goaltender. I don't know. I just don't see it. Maybe part of it's the defense, but I'm nervous to say that you can bank on Dan Vladar taking you to the playoffs.
So I looked at the stat comparison last year to this year for Vladar as one of my positive points. So he was with Calgary last year. He only played 30 games. He was 12-11 with a 2.8 goals against and an 89.8 save percentage. So far this year, he's played 12 games, 7 wins, 4 losses, 2.37 goals against, and a 911, 912. So listen, on the optimistic side, he's off to a great start. It's a new scenery, which sometimes helps goalies, especially kind of forget about the past. And Urson can be, I think he can be a good second, but I think it looks like Vladar is going to probably play, if he keeps up at this rate, he's going to be the guy. And he hasn't given me. I've seen him. Yes, we. You look at this team, and I'm not going to go to negative town, but you clearly see the talent gap when they played like Tampa last night. Tampa's clearly better team than them in all facets. But when they play other teams that are a little bit above them, or perhaps not as talented or deep, like a St. Louis or what have you, they're winning games, and they're winning the close ones, right? The eyeball test is shootout, right? You see them winning shootouts. You put Urson in net for the shootouts, and he's as good as they come. So now we got an offense and a defense that can win some of those games. So so let's see. Yes, the goaltending does have to stand up in order for us to get that 4 position.
And I guess that's the thing. I mean, if we're looking at the season as being successful, if they make the playoffs, which I think really should be the goal.
Yeah.
I think it is probably it's attainable, but at the same time, it's one of those like we know we have no shot. Like
Right.
we get in. There's no even if we get in at an 8 seed, this is not an 8 seed that somehow wins the Stanley Cup. Like
Right.
there's no shot of that.
Right. Right.
And that's why it's not as exciting for me. And the other thing too is that I'm still not entirely sure what upper management's goal for the season is. Like is it time to win and is it time to make trades to try to win, or is it we got to do one more year of making all these draft picks? Like for example, there was an article that came out today saying the Flyers could be in consideration to trade for Hughes from Vancouver, who's like one of the best defensemen in the league. He's like a number 1 defenseman, right? That we haven't had since Chris Pronger. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, are we really going to go for that? And the other thing too is we've got we have some up and coming talent on the team, but at the same time, to get a good player in a trade, you're going to have to give up something. Does that mean that to get a Hughes, you have to give up a Tippett, right? And I don't entirely know if that's, it would probably be like Tippett and a first round pick, and maybe a second and a fourth, or something like that. And I just don't really know if that's worth it. I don't even know if that's what they want to do. I mean, the article that I read was basically saying they're not sure if the Flyers know what they want to do. Like the other thing is that, and also one of the reasons why he's available at, being such a good player at 26 is because he's a free agent after this year, right? So, the other side of it is, well, they're saying, well, maybe the Flyers just try to wait it out, hope he doesn't get traded, or hope he gets traded to a team that doesn't re-sign him, and just try to get him in the offseason, not lose anything. So it's like I don't even know what we are thinking of doing. That's why I'm like a little. I know it's sort of like they're saying we got to win now, but I don't know if they're actually really following through on that or not. I think we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, to me, it feels like a addition by subtraction after the past couple of seasons. I think at this point, this is going to be our core team. All right, we've got core players offensively. We got to see what happens with the defenders. Like, is Jamie Drysdale going to be just another defender, right? Or is he going to be, a top line with Sanheim type of guy for the foreseeable future? This Cam York, they say, is gonna, this is if he continues to develop on the blue line, that could help propel us. So my feeling right now is we got these guys, we've decided these are the guys we're gonna go play the season with, and I think they want to see how Drysdale does. Does Forrester take another step? Can Tippett get back to scoring goals? In addition to Michkov and Konechny, and can these defenders, right? Can these defenders, the Cam York, the Jamie Drysdale, can we build our team around Sanheim, Drysdale, and York, and then go figure out the back end? I think they're waiting. They're going to take a wait and see. And if we can get into playoffs or even sniff the playoffs with this squad, then maybe we've got something. If we can't, then I think you start unloading pieces and starting to try to pick up pieces to put with a Michkov, with a Konechny, with a Sanheim, with a Forrester, and a Zegras. So I like the pieces we've added. I like that for the most part, these guys who we didn't think of much last year, like some of the ones I've named, are having good seasons. Bobby Brink is solid. Cates, they can get you 40 points. I think Tippett, he's got to go show us something now, right? No more snake bit. He's got to start
Mhm.
scoring goals, and he's got to stay out of the penalty box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're going to get with Michkov. You know what you're going to get with Konechny. You just don't know what you're going to get from, a Tippett or a Kate or even a Couturier who's having a better year this year.
Right. I mean, even
So,
and that's the thing. Like, even though Couturier is having a better year this year, um, I don't love that he's our captain. It just kind of, it almost like pulls me back to the old Flyers that just aren't good enough. Like
yeah,
a
yeah.
team that's going to win something does not have Sean Couturier as their captain. Maybe 7 years ago, Sean Couturier, but I don't know. Anyway, we shall see. I am remaining optimistic, even though I took the pessimistic side. All right, now let's.
The numbers say let's be positive, and the good news is I get to watch them play almost all the time now. They're on like Hulu, and so
Now,
I can watch them play.
now, for a minute there, could you hear anything?
Yeah, I just got dropped. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work out. Maybe we do need the technical director. But the other team off to a pretty good start. I mean, right now they're 9-7. They're in the 7 seed. Um, and basically what that means is 6 seed, you don't have to play the play-in round. 7 seed, you do. But they're mixed up with a bunch of teams. Um, look, there's a lot going on. I think you probably just tell me if you're kind of in the same place as me.
Mhm.
I love our young guards, Maxi, taking it to another level this year. Edgecombe, really like what I'm seeing out of the rookie. McLean looks like he's finally getting his footing back. And some,
They sent him down, didn't they? They sent him to the G League for a little bit to
yeah, but then
find his rhythm.
yeah, but then he came back and he's like had like a couple like double-digit scoring games. So he looks like he's on his way back.
Okay.
And I also think just like some nice side pieces as well, just like some role players and Quentin Grimes and
Barno.
Oubre, but again, what is it? We're 16 games into the season, and Embiid and Paul George have probably each played like 3 games, right? And to be honest, half the time I don't even know if I want them in the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what's your take on the Sixers thus far?
I think they're giving us a little bit more to cheer about this year. But clearly there's a big gap between them and Toronto.
Hmm.
I think probably, even though we've beat the Celtics a couple times, the Celtics, um, and no Giannis and Milwaukee. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me look. The Pistons, and the Pistons have won 13 in a row. Like,
Yeah,
how
that's
dare
right.
us? How dare us give up Tobias Harris? Um, and the Heat showed us the other day that they're a better team. So listen, I think again, if they can entertain us and play, some 500 above 500 ball this year with or without Embiid and George,
Mhm.
who I'm with you. I'm I've been done with both of them for a couple of years. But the fact of the
Right.
matter is that without Embiid, we're lucky to make the playoffs.
Right.
And what are we really going to do on a playoff run? I'd almost
Right.
rather get the draft pick and
Hmm.
figure out, how to keep building and build up front now that our backcourt's getting solidified.
The the
So
o-
it's
the
hard to be excited about this team. It's nice when Maxi scores 54 points, but let's be
mhm.
clear, he he, he can't keep up that pace, for 82 games. I
I
really
don't
don't
know.
believe
I,
that.
d- I don't know, Rube. I don't know.
All right, so tell me.
Um,
So you have Maxi for MVP. What do you think?
I will tell you in a couple minutes. The
Okay.
one thing that I am a little concerned about is, look, Edgecombe has really nice numbers for a rookie. He's got 15.6 points per game, 6 rebounds a game, and um 4.2 assists per game. I love the way he plays. He plays good defense. He steals the ball. He can really fly. He's a hell of a finisher. He can shoot the 3 ball. The only thing that I'm not crazy about with Embiid and Paul George playing is I feel like it stunts his development a little bit. Like, so for example, if neither of those guys had played a single game this season, I feel like Edgecombe would be averaging over 20 points.
Okay.
But sometimes when those guys are out there, number one, they take up minutes, and number two, I mean, look, you're a rookie. You got Paul George, who could potentially be in the Hall of Fame, and Joel Embiid, an MVP. You're gonna, defer to them. So that's the one thing I don't love. I almost feel like, the path to a championship is faster if those guys aren't playing and the young guys are developing at a faster rate.
Yeah.
That's the thought. All right. Well, why don't we do this? So you asked for a special segment today. You asked for the Grand Schwalbini's crystal ball.
I want it. I hear this about this Grand Schwalbini character. I have not seen the crystal ball, and quite frankly, I have not been blown away by any predictions. So it's time to impress me.
That sounds like shots fired, Rube.
I want to hear it. Impress me, Schwalbini.
All right. So for the Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers, I'm not saying anything about the Phillies just yet because they haven't made a move yet.
Okay.
So I got one for each. So let's start with the Eagles. And the question that the Grand Schwalbini has been brazen with here is, if that even works, they will
just go with it.
Will the Eagles finish? And then we'll have you respond with your prediction afterwards. Mm-hmm. Will the Eagles finish the season as a number 1 or number 2 seed? The Grand Schwalbini says, yes, they will. Look, I just get it from the heavens. What do you say, Rube?
Hey, I lost you there for a minute. Can you ask the question again?
I sure will. Okay. I don't know if I can do it with as much enthusiasm.
I want you to. You know what? It's take two.
Take two. Will the Eagles finish with either a 1 or a 2 seed this season? And the Grand Schwalbini says, yes, they will. It comes from the heavens. I don't know how it gets in there, but it gets in there. Okay. What do you say, Rube?
I say the answer is no.
Oh,
I do not believe the Grand Schwalbini. I don't believe the heavens. I think we've been lucky to win a couple games early, which has got us to 8 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I think our offense, like we talked about earlier, is not where it needs to be, and I don't see it getting any better based on everything we talked about. O-line, play calling, bitching and complaining inside the locker room, blah, blah, blah. So I say we are not a 1 or 2 seed. I think the 1 and 2 seeds are going to be the Rams will probably be the number 1 seed, especially if Stafford continues to ball. And I think who's leading the West now? I don't think it's going to be the Detroit Lions. I think it's going to be those Seattle Seahawks.
Aren't they in the division with the Buccaneers and San Francisco?
That's right. So they can't be the number 2 seed. They're in. So the Seahawks are with the Rams, the 49ers, and the Arizona. Is it Arizona? Arizona. Okay. So they can't be the number 2. So I will say Detroit Lions they'll be the 1 and the 2, the Rams and the Lions.
So the Eagles will be a 3 or 4, you're saying? They'll still win the division? Okay.
I think they'll win the division. I don't see a total collapse happening, but I don't see us winning out, and I see those other teams just starting to play better.
Okay. Now just remember in the back of your head, if this is a repeat of the Redskins / Commanders game last year, we will not lose again. That seems very far-fetched, doesn't it?
It does seem very far-fetched.
Okay.
All
right.
We'll just leave it at that. But I like
All
your
right.
optimism. Okay.
All right. Let's go to the Flyers.
Okay.
Now, right now, I'm not sure if you're aware, Rube.
Yeah.
Right now, Trevor Zegras in 21 games has 21 points. He is currently a point per game player, and that does not include shootout goals, by the way.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, no, they don't count.
Okay.
So question is, will Trevor Zegras finish the season as a point per game player?
How many games in the season?
82.
So it's like NBA. Okay.
Yeah, so we're a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
Well, the Grand Schwalbini must answer first.
Please enlighten us, Grand Schwalbini.
The Grand Schwalbini says he will not be. Now, that's not really necessarily a leap. I'll tell you what, though. He may really be coming into his own as a member of the Flyers. I think he's going to continue to have a very good year. I think he's going to be an all-star this year. But still, a point a game, that's asking a lot. I mean, that's probably like a top 20 player in the NHL, if not higher. So I'm going to say he's not quite there yet, but I really like the direction. But it is a no from the Grand Schwalbini.
I will violently agree with you, Grand Schwalbini. When you look at his year on year, he only played 57 games last year. So let's say he stays healthy, and he's not the biggest dude. Let's say he stays healthy and plays 70 to 75 games this year. Point of game's asking a lot. I think he ends somewhere probably. I think his ceiling is probably about 60. Would be what I say. I think we put it on tape, and we come back to this tape on 11/25/25, and let's see if we're right. But I think we both agree it's a bridge too far for a point a game. But I like him, and I like his moxie. So I like what he brings to our offense.
Yeah. All right. So now this is, for me, the most fun question the Grand Schwalbini has come up with.
We need like music. We need like mystical music to play in the background.
So we were talking about Tyrese Maxey. Let me just give you some stats on Tyrese Maxey this season. In case you're wondering, through 16 games of the season, he is currently the second leading scorer in the NBA at 34.5. I'm sorry, at 33.0 points per game. The only one higher is Luka Doncic at 34.5. Then right below Maxey, you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 31.2, or is that? I think it's
32.2. Giannis is at 31.
Yeah, and Giannis is at 31. So Maxey at 33, just a point and a half away from being in the lead there. Now, he is second in terms of three-pointers made per game with 4.1. There's only one person higher. Can you guess who that is?
Three-pointers made?
Yep, per game.
I would assume
Steph Curry at 4.9. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so how about that? Okay. Also, look, to me, I think Maxey's a shooting guard, but you can't fault guys for being good at everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is sixth in the league in assists with 7.8. So the question the Grand Schwalbini is posed with is the following. Will Maxey finish in the top 5 of MVP voting for this NBA season? The Grand Schwalbini says emphatically yes. Tyrese Maxey is that good. He is that good.
You cut out for a second. Did you say the top 5 in MVP voting? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay.
And the Grand Schwalbini says absolutely yes, he is that good. He has arrived. You must take notice.
Okay. Let me
What does Rube
digest that.
say?
Rube says, yes.
Oh,
Rube
so
said,
I've won you over.
you've won me over. I wouldn't say he will win MVP, and he may sneak into the 5 spot. He may sneak in there if he can continue on this pace, which we haven't seen we haven't ever seen that from him before. He will get injured at some point. He will wear out at some point, especially
Maybe
if
not this year.
I hope you're right. But listen, in order to be the MVP, you have to be on a championship worthy team. Doncic, leading the league in scoring, and the Lakers, I think, are in first place. They're playing very well. SGA, what are they, like 17-1?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
The worst best team of all time.
The Joker is always going to be there, right?
Yeah,
He could be an all-timer when all is said and done.
Joker is number 1 in assists somehow as a center.
Yeah. You got Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. Giannis has been hurt. And, let's see how Curry does this year. So I think it's believable. I think it's credible. And as I said, when we kicked off the NBA season this year, I'm going to be optimistic about the Sixers, which I haven't been in, 10 years, a decade, maybe plus. So I'm going to say, Grand Schwalbini, you may have just impressed me.
All right. Feels good. All right. Well, listen, we're winding down here. Okay. And our man Rube has to hit a early Thanksgiving tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to the youngster getting surgery tomorrow. Nothing really, really bad, folks.
No, just some oral surgery.
Just some oral surgery.
He won't be able to eat on Thursday.
But as we like to do, this is the part of the show where we give back to you. We realize that you put a lot of time and effort into supporting us, and we think, what better way to support you than to make you the champion of your own household? When somebody looks for a new show, it can be tiring, it can be exhausting. There's so many channels to stream from. This. What we do is we take care of that for you. We consistently, rapidly watch show after show, and we come on each week and we give you one series. We give you a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You don't need to go looking anymore. You don't need to watch trailers. You just watch us, and you just say the guys from the Sports Porch said this one's a winner, and you become a hero. And you might say, no, we're not going to watch that one. Sports guys didn't like it. And you know what? Even though it's not really as out there as it should be, that also makes you a winner too. All right, Rube, let's start out with you. Now, these I did put in the right spot, so I don't think we're going to lose anybody here. Okay. Rube is watching season 3. Are you through season 3 of the Tulsa King?
We just finished it 2 nights ago.
Yeah, how is it?
And oh, by the way, we could be more heroic than ever this week because a lot of families get together, and after they've had turkey and after they've watched all the football they can watch, they're going to want to see something. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. I have been a fan of Tulsa King since day one. I don't know what it is about the show. I think Stallone is just a little too cheesy for the role. I don't know the best way to say it. And I don't think the acting is the best acting, but it's a compelling storyline. And I really enjoyed season 1 and season 2. Nice. Season 3, the storyline was interesting, but I think the acting actually got worse. And so as I was doing some research ahead of the show, and I found out that one of the actors that is just absolutely, she's beautiful, but she's absolutely awful, is his daughter. And I was almost embarrassed for her on how bad some of the acting was. And I think some of the plot and the decisions made were so stupid. and it's fictional, but you really want to believe some of this mafia type stuff is nonfiction, and you want it to be as close as possible. And I was just disappointed. Bad bad decisions by the characters, some bad acting, and as such, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs down. I really didn't
Wow.
enjoy season 3
Is
because
there a
of
fourth?
that.
Is there a fourth season as well?
I think there will be a 4th season,
Oh, but
but
it's not yet. Okay.
it's not yet. But there's also, it looks like there's going to be a spinoff.
Okay.
And I'm not going to ruin it for everybody. If you're going to go watch season 3, which,
Mm-hmm.
if you need some mindless entertainment, go ahead and do it. But you're going to be underwhelmed by the acting and perhaps some of the
Wow.
the decisions.
Well, I have to say I'm a little stunned by this. I don't know when you really were pumped about season 1 and 2. I just assumed it was going to continue on that trajectory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's jumped the shark for me already. And like I said, the acting was bad, and some of the decision and some of the writing is just so stupid. So I'm
It
giving it a
happens.
thumbs down.
All
And
right.
since I'm giving it a thumbs down, I will ruin a little bit of the. If you watch the season later in the season, towards
Mm-hmm.
the end, Samuel L. Jackson is introduced as an
Oh,
aged bounty hunter, and
okay.
so. I'll just say this, that may lead to a spinoff.
Ah, interesting. Okay. All right. Well, good stuff, Rube.
Okay,
All right. The Grand Schwalbini. What did I watch this?
tell us.
I watched Billionaire's Bunker
Huh.
on Netflix. Have you ever even heard of it, Rube?
I've never heard of it.
I had not heard of it either until I decided to watch it. I often try to watch things, I usually have like a show or two on my own, and my wife has a show or two on her own.
Hmm.
So, while she's, watching, uh,
The Great British Baking Show.
exactly something like that,
Uh,
I'm watching, an end of the world story, right?
you like your
So
end of the world. You
I
like your
do,
apocalyptic stories.
I do like end of the world. And in this story, well, first of all, this is I'm not entirely sure what it is. It might be like Italian, but it's not. You have they're speaking English, but it's uh, but it's not like entirely crisp. Have you ever seen, for example, the Money Heists?
Yeah,
Did you ever?
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Do you like them? I mean, but you
Yeah,
know how they're
they're
like,
okay. But it's
like
kind of dubby.
right. It's a little dubby, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say, I liked it. Now, I wouldn't say it's the greatest or anything. I mean, I kind of I'm sort of giving like two sort of cautious thumbs up.
Hmm.
Like I'm not saying that you can go out and say this is an automatic, this is gold. But if you're the kind of person that likes, a show that's like suspenseful and entertaining and action packed pretty much like from word go, through every single episode. And if you're interested in like what would life be like if there was like a nuclear war, you know what I mean? Then I think you'll really like it. So if that's you, it's definitely a 2 thumbs up. If that's not you, this was one that was probably well served for me to watch on my own and not have Amy watch. Um,
Amy may not have liked
right.
it.
Although at the same time, there are some love story components to it, and I kind of thought afterwards, I was like, maybe she would have liked it. I don't know,
You know
but
what's the
anyway,
one? You know the one thing that I think about
what?
when I think of Mark Schwab and
What's that?
Amy Schwab?
What is that?
It's a love story.
It is.
It's a
It
love
is.
story. It's like none other,
Yep.
and that's what makes you guys so
Yep.
gosh dang adorable.
When I saw her, it dropped to my knee. I just dropped to my knee. I knew
You,
that
when
was
you
the
got a
one.
woman like that, you don't walk to the altar, you run to the altar.
Exactly. Exactly. Um.
I hope you're
Yeah.
listening. I hope you're listening out
Yeah.
there,
You
Amy May.
better be listening, Amy May. Um, no, so just to give you a little snippet, essentially that's what it is. There's a bunch of billionaires who decide that, God forbid there should ever be like, a global nuclear war. They have spent their money and they have built a bunker, to outlast and kind of live through, the down years of radiation afterwards, and to be able to continue to live, right? And so as it happens, this event occurs and they all go down into the bunker. And that's where I'm just going to leave it, because to be honest, if I tell you more than that, then number one, you're going to miss a pretty big you're not going to be able to enjoy a pretty big surprise. And then also too, if I really get into what happens, then you're going to wonder, you might even know what happened at the end. So it looks like it's headed for a season 2. I can't be sure of that. It was certainly laid out perfectly for a season 2. And I really liked it. So, I mean, I would say it's worth a shot. It's also, I would also say this too, like, if you're somebody out there who's thinking, you're just kind of like me, like, should I watch this with my wife or not? Right. I would say it's definitely worth including the wife for episode 1. And I think after episode 1, you can determine whether she's going to like it or not.
She can either opt in or opt out.
Right. She can determine that herself as well.
Okay.
Women make their own decisions. I'm in support of that.
Okay. All
right. So anyway, that's it.
Me too.
Any final thoughts, Rube?
I would say to all our fans listening, or whether you're watching us live or you're watching us anywhere you get your podcast, it's like Spotify or YouTube or wherever else you get them, Apple. You can also, given that it is Thanksgiving weekend and you will be looking, watch some of the old episodes for some of our other we're watching, and we have heard from many fans who have been very satisfied and with our recommendations. So check out some of the old episodes too. But to you and Amy and the Pittsburghians, have a happy and healthy and safe Thanksgiving. Let's root hard for the Birds. And, is it possible we may be on after the Birds game on Friday?
Yeah, what do you think? I mean, I will be free. I'll be able to do it. Are you free on Friday?
What time's the game?
The game's 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that makes it what, 1 your time?
2. I'm only an hour behind.
Oh, 2. So basically it'll end probably Eastern
5,
time,
5 Central,
6:30ish maybe.
Yeah,
probably like 5:30. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll do our first live post game after show. And we have some friends who are doing a channel for another sports team, and it seems to get a lot of interaction. So we're gonna try that on Friday, and we're gonna get on. I mean, when that clock hits 0-0, we're gonna be on. So we're gonna beat your WIPs and your 97.5, the fans. We're gonna be on first.
Get your shopping done early, kids.
Yeah.
If you want a little sports porch live after the game, come check us out. All right. Now I'm going to take us out. And in doing so, I leave us with a bit of positivity. Bring the positivity. See y'all.
Are you watching it?
I'm not. I'm not positive.
All right. Let's get you positive. It would be nice if I could.
You just try and keep me from being positive. This is me being.
All right.
All right, brother. So text me on Friday just to make sure you're still good. I'll probably be out and about for a little bit watching the game somewhere. But I'll make sure that I got a computer or I'm at the house for right after the game. And shall we
All
just
right, man.
jump on? We just jump on StreamYard? Is that the way it works?
Yeah. We'll just jump on.
Cool.
I'm not gonna have really anything planned. We'll just jump on and get into it. Raw emotion.
Raw emotion. I love it.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
All right.
Enjoy.
Have a good
Talk to you
Thanksgiving.
later. You
All right,
too.
see you.
Bye.
All right, bye.